So last week, I released a video on Letha, and part of that video talked about sun deities. So I decided it would be fun to take a deeper dive into sun gods and goddesses and talk more about their origins and worship. We have been in awe of the sun since we started looking towards a greater power. These deities were coming into play many thousands of years ago. The ancients may not have had what we call scientific knowledge, but they certainly were observant and insightful. Growth of the natural environment is obviously dependent on the light and heat of the sun. I do a lot of gardening and I'm very much planning around solar energy. The sun being such an important force, we see sun deities as powerful and strong, but also joyful. Is that the right word? I find myself drawn to solar deities. So we will start with Ra, who is one of the oldest known. Here we have Ra on the left and his consort or partner in crime, the moon god Kansu. We will talk more about these pairings shortly. First, I just wanted to say hi. I'm Amy and welcome to my channel. I'm an environmental educator, teacher, lifelong pagan, and founder of Celebrate Pagan Holidays. And our goal is to help you on your pagan path. Check out our books on Amazon and free downloads on the website. Ra is portrayed as a falcon and other birds such as the heron. This makes sense as birds fly and we sense their connection with the sky. He has the sun disk above his head. A cobra is often shown on his headdress. Snakes are another symbol of authority in ancient Egypt. The Nile River has been a source of life, and so Ra travels via a boat, which is referred to as his bark. I love that the ancient Egyptians were artists and scribes and left so much for us to learn from today. So the bark was literally and religiously a way to move mummies to their tombs and thus into the afterlife. You can honor Ra at your altar by chanting his name and having an offering of fresh fruits like oranges and apples. Honey and eggs make good offerings as well. Symbols of his sacred animals, the falcon and scarab beetle, are appreciated. Nanahuatl, the fifth Aztec sun god, was known for his humility and sacrifice. He is willing to endure suffering for the greater good of his people. The Aztec people believe in cosmic renewal. The legend goes that 4 times the gods created and then destroyed the sun. They created a great fire, and Nanahuatl jumped into the fire without any argument. He then rose to become the fifth sun. His name was transformed to Tanatua, and he is represented by feathers, specifically eagle feathers. The sun god required constant sacrifice and was known to be a harsh, demanding, and sometimes cruel deity. Today, modern Aztecs focus more on his humility and include the sun god in altars for fertility of growth of their crops. Feathers adorn traditional clothes in honor of him. Offerings of food, specifically drinks and corn, are appreciated. We is the solar spirit of the Lakota and is represented by the bison and the color red. He is married to the moon goddess Hanwi. We was created by Wankantaka, the great spirit. He symbolizes bravery, endurance, and honesty. The sun dance, a ceremony performed by many plains cultures, was a time of dancing and drumming, but also a time of personal sacrifice. Fasting and making spiritual connections are important elements of the sun dance. At one time, the sun dances were outlawed by the US and Canadian governments who tried to repress native cultures. Sol or Suna is the Norse sun goddess, known as the radiant power and bringer of light. Her warm rays embrace the earth, nourishing life and filling the world with energy and vitality. She is a symbol of renewal and the cycle of life. Sol rides across the sky in her chariot, pulled by golden horses. 2 lethal wolves chase her chariot across the sky every day, possibly Skoll and Fenrir, who want to devour her. It is said during the long summer days she is escaping the wolves, but during winter's dark skies, they are gaining on her. Her twin brother is Mani, the Norse moon god. Suna is revered as the bringer of growth, prosperity, and enlightenment. Things you can put on your altar to honor her. Her symbol, the sun knot, is connected to life and vitality, reflecting the sun's place in sustaining life and promoting growth. Fire and an orange candle to represent energy and determination. A symbol of a chariot represents the rhythm of the seasons and also the struggle in the cosmos. Flowers and honey mead make a wonderful offering to her. One interesting aspect is the relationship between the sun and the moon. We often see this emphasized in pagan religions. Many times, sun and moon deities work together. They may be a married couple or siblings. Sometimes they work together by taking turns, day and night, and sometimes they are chasing each other like children. Typically, the sun symbolizes strength and power, while the moon represents calmness and a nurturing spirit. The sun sometimes represents our egos and desires, while the moon is our soul and innermost feelings. Soleil is a Baltic sun goddess who rides across the sky in a chariot or even a boat. She is married to Menua, the moon. Soleil and her daughter are described as wearing red and gold clothing, and she often wears a crown of flowers. She is celebrated for her nurturing light and her role in natural cycles. She is the patroness of the disenfranchised, especially orphans. Soleil's feast is traditionally celebrated during the summer solstice. It is a holiday filled with joy, with lots of feasting, dancing, and bonfires. Helios is the Greek god of the sun and is often pictured wearing a crown and driving a chariot across the sky. He is also the goddess of oaths and vision. Many sun gods have an elevated position in their pantheon, but not Helios. Zeus was still the leader, and Helios was actually a minor god. His partner in crime was his sister Selene, goddess of the moon. Selene is a popular goddess with pagans today. And while Helios didn't also get the respect he deserved in classical Greece, we do honor him on the periodic table. Each day he drove his chariot across the sky. He had 4 horses that lived in the famous Sun Stable, also home to Pagans. We honor Helios on Sundays, and during the winter solstice, we pay tribute to him and bring his light into the world. Heliogenia is a modern Hellenistic pagan festival, a 9-day celebration of the sun that happens every year during the winter solstice. To celebrate, light candles each night of the holiday, a yellow candle for the sun and a black one for the night. Helios holds a prominent place in the realm of magic and is associated with witches. As an embodiment of the sun's energy and light, Helios represents the ultimate source of power and vitality. In ancient times, practitioners of magic would seek his favor to enhance their spells and rituals, harnessing his fiery essence to bring about profound transformations. Helios and Selene eventually merged or were replaced by Apollo and Artemis to take the place of the sun and moon deities in ancient Greece. Nyambe is the traditional sun god of the Bantu who live in Central Africa, mostly in the countries of the Congos and Angola. He is known as the god of fire and change. He is known as the revealer of secret truths, present and future. Culturally, the Bantu have great respect for their elders, and Nyambe is also seen as the greatest elder. Well, this has been just a small number of sun deities. Let me know if you are interested in learning more, and I can do a part 2. Also, would you like me to do any videos on any one deity in particular? Please do the YouTube thing and like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching and have a very witchy day.